Look, I'm looking you dead in the eyes here. I'm going to talk to you about you. Yeah, so
no worries.
He's not yet 25. He's played 47 games for his country across 3 formats, 1,500 runs or so, 46 wickets, 1 ton, 6 50s, a fifer, 25 catches, some of the best ever seen at gully, 54 first-class games for 3,500 runs at 46 with the bat, 900s, 12 50s, 70 wickets, 3 fifers. Went for 3.15 million in the IPL. I don't think you knew that. Crashed an unbeaten ton from 47 balls for the powerhouse Mumbai Indians. Numbers already comparable with some of the world's greatest all-rounders at the same age. And despite these extremely exciting numbers, many people are most impressed with how tall he is. It's an honour and a pleasure to be here with Cameron Green. Cam, thanks for allowing me to talk to you, for having me here with Red Bull.
No, I appreciate it. Geez, you make you feel good about yourself with all those. I think sometimes you got to sit back and look back at what you have done, and sometimes you do forget about it when you just, pretty high pressure environments all the time. So, no, that was nice. Thank you.
No, it's all right. I mean, if I played international cricket, I'd be reading my cricket info bio all the time, but maybe that's a difference. I don't know. Well, look, we're catching you, Cam, just after the Ashes, which came just after the World Test Championship final, which came just after the IPL, which came just after the Australian summer, which came just after the the T20 World Cup in Australia. Are you missing cricket already?
Yeah, no, definitely not. It's been an awesome couple of week break after the Ashes so far. I think most of the guys needed it, especially the guys who play all 3 formats, and I'm just getting a little glimpse of what it's like doing all 3. So I've got so much respect for the guys who've been doing it for 10 plus years. So it's pretty grueling, but we do love it. So it's nice to get a break.
How we were just talking off air before about how you even take little breaks when you're at hotels and stuff or whatever. But if you, with a longer break that you have here, long by your standards, because you're playing 13 months of the year.
Yeah.
What do you do to chill?
Yeah, or chill is probably doing absolutely nothing. I think.
Yeah. We're talking lying prone on a bed, just looking at the ceiling, letting the body rest.
So what you were saying after spending a couple of hours with the kids.
Yeah.
Well, it's basically that. Just going to your local cafe. Just doing normal stuff that you probably don't get a chance to do when you're in places like India. Just a little refresher. Get back to a bit of normality, and then straight back into pretty intense environment again.
Are you like a coffee guy? I know all the Aussie guys are coffee guys, and now there seems to be competitions over who can make the best magic or macchiato or whatever it is. Do you get into that culture, or do you just accept their offerings?
Yeah, no, I'm more that. I'll hang around the coffee machine and try and catch Marnus's eye.
So is Marnus top dog now of the coffee scene?
Him. We got a security guard, our security guy, Frank. Absolutely loves it. So I'm more asking him, would you like to make coffee? He's like, yes, mate, I'd love to. And so I'm like, I feel good asking, but really I don't want to make the coffee. I'm more that. I'm more the guy who just hangs around and waits for a free coffee. Yeah,
nice one. All right, so I just want to start with you as a super youngster, Cam Green, the boy. I know lots of your international teammates might have dreamt of playing footy, or some would prefer to be playing golf now, I think. Before settling on cricket, what was your sporting dream as a boy? And was there a moment when you knew it would be cricket?
Yeah, I think growing up in Perth, it's AFL and cricket. By the time the summer starts to roll around, you can't wait to play cricket, and then when winter starts coming around, the AFL starts to play, you can't wait to play AFL. So I never really looked too far ahead, really. I just wanted to enjoy whatever was in front of me, I think. I never thought about playing cricket professionally even. But I think looking back, I probably wanted to play AFL more. Cricket offered me a contract first, and you're obviously going to accept the contract. So because nothing's guaranteed in the future. So, pretty happy where I am now.
so many of the Aussie guys are like, they wanted to be footy stars first. Like, but, like I know obviously there's like Alex Carey, but like even before that, like, you know, even like Warney, you know, like the greatest.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm a failed footy player. I'll just see what I can do with cricket, you know. Like, I suppose footy's one of those games that's like so exhilarating and like gets everybody pumped up and stuff. Like I can see why it would be a dream for people. But you're saying like cricket literally just got there first with the contract. Like, do you reckon you were equal skill with both games, or?
Oh, you always look back thinking you're better than you were.
Yeah.
I got no idea, but you always look back with fond memories and like, oh yeah, I could have done that.
Yeah.
But really, I like to shirk a contest. I didn't like tactics. I like a free handball over the top. So,
nice.
Yeah, I'm probably looking back a bit too positively, but I love AFL. I love watching it. It's 2 hours of fun compared to 5 hours sitting around. So there's always pros and cons, and you always want to do what you're not doing. So I did love AFL.
That's nice. So, like, did you have any, like, in terms of cricket stuff, obviously it sounds like you were sort of sports mad anyway, but like, did you have any cricketing heroes growing up? Like, were you like a kid with like posters on the wall and stuff, or were you more like just great at every sport, preferred playing rather than watching?
Yeah, 100%. I had heroes growing up. I think definitely Ricky Ponting and Brett Lee in the backyard. I had my little kahuna, trying to be Ricky. Trying to play pull shot, missing everyone, and then try and bowl as quick as you can because Brett Lee was the quickest at the time. So definitely had heroes. And then Chris Judd was massive in Perth as a West Coast Eagles fan. So broke my heart when he left as a youngster. So I definitely had heroes growing up, and pretty lucky to have those guys around to look up to.
Cool. So what's like your family's connection to cricket and sport? I know your dad's been a massive influence, like from what I read, like throwing heaps of balls and stuff. So you're obviously super tight there. And is it a whole family effort with sport, or is it just something you share with your dad?
Yeah, definitely. My dad got me into AFL and cricket. My mum's English, so AFL definitely didn't come natural to her. And probably didn't enjoy sitting around watching cricket. I think it's just over years of watching me play. She now loves it. It's definitely my dad. Threw me lots of balls before school, and I think looking back, obviously that's got a lot to do with where I'm at as a cricketer now. And at the time, you think it's a bit of fun, and then but it does lead down the track to being a better player. So got to be pretty thankful to him.
Could he play a bit, or like at what age did you overtake him?
I think.
Or maybe you haven't, you know. Sometimes the elder sibling or the dad always just has that bit of experience, no matter how good you are. Like I know like Pat Cummins' brothers say that they could still get him out and knock him over just because they're his elder brother.
I think it's the same with me, thinking I was a good AFL player. I think you always look back better than probably what you were. So my dad thinks he could have made it, but a shoulder injury took him out. It's always a classic shoulder or back or something. So, or knee is normally a pretty classic one. So but his was a shoulder that took him out and ruled him out.
Well, he'd be proud. He'd be proud. That'd be the next best thing, you know. Like, look, I didn't make it, but I got two boys, so you know, sort of the star now sits with them. I know you play for Subiaco Floreat. Well, I don't know if you still do. Maybe other teams are making offers for you. I don't know. I don't know if you've got much grade cricket planned in the next little while, but I should say Premier Cricket, but that's just a marketing conflict. In your early days, I believe you were skippered by Alex Malcolm, who now works at ESPN Crick Info. So he's a mate of mine. So he claimed to skipper you anyway. But has grade cricket prepared you in any way for international cricket other than what not to be? And did you learn anything from Alex? What's it like being reported on by your old skipper?
Reported on? Jeez, I haven't heard this story. Is that
Oh, no, I mean, he just covers the cricket, so he will have written about you.
Yeah. I think I'm very lucky to have Alex Malcolm in the media space so he can look after me with his articles.
Is that a threat?
No, it's more thanking him, I reckon.
He's a good guy.
He's a great guy, and it definitely prepares you. I think first time playing against men, I think that's obviously a big step most people face, going from junior cricket to men's cricket. You think these guys are the quickest things ever when you first go down to training, and then you go back a few years later, you're like, okay, like what was I thinking back in the day? I've definitely passed on that message to a few of them.
When you turn up to training, by the way, like, do you do it in Subi kit or are you wearing Aussie gear?
Yeah, definitely Subi. I make the effort. But yeah, some of them are my closest mates, so I love going back down there.
Yeah, I love that idea that you go back down, you're like, I can't believe I was worried about this. That's funny, it's funny. Just want to talk about your early experiences in international cricket. So I know you've talked about this before, but I haven't had the chance to ask you directly. So in your debut game against India, ODI cricket at Manica, Canberra, is that right? Yeah. You walk out to bat, and I know I'm telling you something you already know because you told this story. KL Rahul's keeping. Redbull athlete as well, KL Rahul, he said, he asked me whether I was nervous or not. And I just replied saying, I was a little bit nervous. And he's like, go well, youngster. And I was actually a bit taken aback. So they're your words. And I've got to say, like, I'm still taken aback by that story because when we grow up in Australia, nobody gives you an easy time or does anything to make you feel welcome when you get to the crease. So I just want to know, like, when he was so warm to you and said, go well, youngster, did you think there was some kind of sorcery going on? Like he was trying to actually put you off by being so nice? Yeah,
a bit of reverse psychology, I think. Yeah. Being so nice, that was taking me aback and probably like a mean comment. I think I think all my thoughts were everywhere. Yeah. So I was so nervous in the moment. So he probably didn't even say that. I think that just goes in the back of my mind. He said. But it's a nice story.
Yeah, it's cool. So do you get nervous? Are you like a nervous kind of player, or like, I mean, compared to what you might observe from teammates and stuff like that? Is that just how you experience the game?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's definitely getting better. From you play your first Shield game and you're exhausted by the end of that week, to playing your 20th, and it gets a lot easier. I think I'm experiencing the same. Obviously in Test cricket, I think it's different. Just so many more eyes on you. So it definitely took a lot longer to feel more comfortable at that level. But yeah, I think everyone gets nervous. I think you still see Steve Smith not sleeping at night. Like, for guys like him who've got 32 Test hundreds. I hope that's correct. I'm not too sure, but for somebody who's got that many Test hundreds still getting nervous, I think. I think I'll be probably nervous the rest of my career.
I think Viv Richards said like nerves mean you want to do well as well, which is good. So it'd probably be concerning if you weren't nervous or you didn't care.
Probably. It probably means you care.
Okay, so just one more thing on the KL Rahul thing. What I also found strange within that was when he asks if you're nervous and then you actually admit it. Like you go, I am. Like in Australia, it'd be like, no, I'm good. But I like that though. Is this a new style where you're just like, I'm really nervous here?
I think definitely growing up, I try to be tough. Like if some of the opposition try to talk to you, you just wouldn't blank them. And I versed Nathan Lyon in a Shield game, and he's trying to be nice. I think just to talk to you, get you off your game, and I blanked him.
Oh, like what sort of things is he saying to you when he's being nice?
Oh, just talking about stuff and basically trying to switch you off when you're trying to switch into.
Like, can you just one thing he was like? What was he saying? Is it like is he talking about rugby league to you, or like know Aussie rules or something, or
I can't remember
video games, politics?
It's something about cricket. But something doesn't matter. Like,
and you blank him.
I blanked him initially, and he just hosed me after that. He was basically like, "Oh, is that how you want to be?" Like obviously he's like one of the best ever. And blanking one of the best ever, I've felt so guilty after that. So ever since then, I think when someone's trying to talk to me on the field, I've actually given it back.
Oh, it's nice.
Not in a bad way.
I get it.
So, ever since then, that's probably why I replied to KL.
It's funny, man. Like, a lot of people watching this would be like surprised to know that firstly Nathan Lyon was being nice on the field to somebody. Like I love Gaz, you know what I mean? And then you take an approach that is probably what we all grew up with, which is like, you've got to kind of be pretty tough and almost like hostile to people. There's no friendliness out there, but it does seem to me that like not that a lot of people overseas will believe this, but like the Aussie team really are like quite nice guys now on the field. Like people really believe that the best way to get the most out of your game is to actually get rid of all of that garbage chat. Has that been your experience as well?
Oh, for sure. I think early days playing for WA, I think we had a really good chat. I think Jael was coach at the time, and weren't winning shield matches, and we were like, what's something we can do? And we spoke about being like a really tough team and like making it really hostile out there. And I think we had a good chat, and we said, like, I don't think you need to be that. You just need to be better. Like, you don't need to be hostile or anything. Just make sure your skills are better than the other team. And I think that's probably what our Aussie team's taken on recently, especially with Paddy as captain. I think, he doesn't really get involved in being nasty or doing all that stuff. I think he's fully concentrating on making sure we're the best team possible, and I think that's led to our success so far.
It's awesome. What were your early impressions of the Aussie team as you went into it? Like, who was there anyone who kind of took you under their wing or was particularly kind to you? I mean, I observe players when they reflect on their careers, always remember, or any of us who are new to a cricket team or any team, you remember who introduces themselves to you and who helps you. Like, did you have anyone like that in the Aussie team?
100%. I had, it's definitely Nathan Lyon, I think.
Yeah.
I think him being at point, I was at gully.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely had that. Like, I was just isolated by myself, and he was like, I'll be the one to talk to him. I think Gaz gets nervous, so I think it was just someone for him to talk to as well. So early on, I was like, oh, how good's this? Like, Nathan Lyon's talking to me. And now I'm like, oh, God, like, Nathan's talking to me.
That's good. Yeah,
so,
you're growing in status now.
Not status. I think he just sometimes talks about field positions and stuff. What do you reckon? And I think initially I thought he was talking to me, like asking for my opinion. But over time I've worked out he just wants to say it out loud.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
Like, okay, yeah, nice.
That's good.
Like, that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
Like, that's basically what I give him now.
That's good.
But no, we've got a great relationship, and I'm so thankful for how he treated me early in my career, and he's a great guy.
That's cool. That's really cool. I'm going to ask you about the IPL in a second, but while we're on it, do you have the same thing at Mumbai? I mean, that's a really eclectic mix of people from all over the world, different cultures, different country for you. I know Mumbai is a big family type atmosphere. Was there anyone you remember who really welcomed you into the setup?
Well, it's a really funny situation I was in. I think she had Tim David. I went to school with him. Jason Berendorf, who plays for my local club for Subi. And we were meant to have Jai Richardson. So there was going to be more people from WA in the Mumbai team than the Australian team.
That's cool. Okay, yeah.
It felt more. I felt more natural in that environment than the Australian team in a way. We didn't end up getting Jai, but we got Riley Meredith in. So like somebody who's nearly my age in Australia. So I think just having those guys around like helped that experience so much, especially just to initially fit in. Around guys that you're comfortable with, and then you slowly get to know everybody else. And a few of the big name stars in India, Rohit, Sky, Ishan, Kishan, all lovely guys. So that was a great experience.
Kind of ask, just like you just said Sky there, like. Yeah. Is that what you call him? You know, like I don't know. It's a really easy kind of abbreviation to make for Suryakumar Yadav, especially when our mouths don't work very well in Australia. Sometimes, like, do you just call him Sky?
I think so. I don't remember calling him Surya.
Yeah,
like I might have done. Not really. I think it's just Sky.
Yeah.
I think
it's just a little tidbit I need to know. So just before we get into the IPL stuff, you make your test debut 2020. So did I read there's like a strange game of phone tag to even get you into the side? Like when you got selected, there was sort of phone calls back and forth. You weren't even sure if you were going to get that call.
Yeah. I think I heard in the media that
I read something in the media that's barely true, so we don't even need to talk about it.
Something like that. I think it's like, I think I heard in the media JL was like, if he passed his concussion test, he's playing. Okay. I hadn't heard anything about that. I was like, oh, really? Like, okay, well, I'm not going to fail a concussion test. I'm going to make everything, make sure I get that over the line. And then I was playing, so.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's a different way to find out.
Awesome. So let's go to life in the IPL and Mumbai. So we'll have to start with the IPL auction. Yep. I know it's a cliche question that everybody asks, and people have a really funny fixation with, price tags and stuff, which I'm sure you've experienced. But, in my experience, when you ask players about the IPL auction, what they do is they lie to you about what they were doing and say, I wasn't really watching. And then other players tell you that they're lying and everybody's watching all the time. So, you know, where were you for the IPL auction where you eventually went to Mumbai?
I tried to waste most of the day because I think it was like at about 4 or 5 p.m. So the Scorchers were in town, so went and watched their game beforehand just to waste a few hours.
On your mind, it's on your mind, obviously.
Of course, you're thinking about it. Went in with Lance Morris, who was in the test team at the time, so spent basically the day with him. My partner was in Melbourne at the time. I think this was around Christmas time, obviously, so probably an hour before the auction, I think headed back to the hotel, just went in the room, chucked it on about half
laptop?
an hour.
I just want to get specific. You're on a laptop there?
No, I connected the laptop to the TV.
Okay, Chromecast or something like that. You know, probably can't even mention that brand, but anyway. So you got it up on the TV.
Got it up on the TV.
Any partners there?
And basically sat down just trying to get it, because I haven't really watched an IPL auction before.
It's crazy,
I didn't really know how it all worked.
Waiting for your name to come up as well.
So I think it was
your phone must be going off massively at the time as well from people,
at the time,
right?
straight after you got, it got pretty smacked, so I tried to put it away for a few hours.
Okay, nice.
Let it sink in. But it didn't feel real for definitely a few days. And
what were you thinking as the bidding was going on? Because I know Punter wanted you as well at Delhi. He was going hard.
So I just heard a few rumours in the background. So my name got called out quite late in our little section. You're watching like Sam Curran go early, trying to work out how it's all working. So it took a while to sink in for sure.
Yeah, and then the cliche of like, you know, you earn a big price tag and then all your teammates then say coffees are on you and beers are on you and all that kind of stuff.
No, you're pretty ready for them after.
Sorry, I don't know whose number this is. So how would you describe the IPL to someone who might not know cricket that well? What's life like over there?
It's pretty hectic. It's basically like play, fly, train, play for about 2 months straight. I think, you got 14 games, not including finals, basically just compressed into this 2-month window. You spend about less than a week with your teammates before the first game. Everything's happening, you're doing a lot of media before the tournament started. You hardly meet your teammates before you play game one. And then it's just pretty hectic from there. They're pretty late days. You probably get back to your hotel at probably about 1 a.m. And then you're sleeping until about 11. It's kind of like your whole day flipped around in a way. And then they're obviously very hectic with the crowds. But that's also the beauty of it. You got fans that are just so loyal. I'll walk off after making 2 and they give me the biggest claps ever.
They really respect players way more. I found
100%.
Not that I've played in the IPL, but I observe there's a lot. I say they. I just mean the Indian crowds just tend to have a lot more regard for their players, right, and support for their players, irrespective of the results on the day.
100%. I think they're just. I don't know if grateful is the right word, but they're just really happy that you're right there in front of them and they're having a great experience and. You can just see the joy that everyone has there. So, it's a pretty special tournament. Yeah,
that's cool. So just to continue that, you've played all formats in India now. What's it like playing cricket there? And how is it different from playing cricket in different parts of the world? I mean more in terms of the culture and the way people enjoy the game rather than, decks, for example.
I think you can definitely see the difference. I think the IPL teams are kind of Indians choose IPL teams. They don't really support India. So they pick players or they pick teams. So if they pick Mumbai, their favourite player is Rohit. So they follow Rohit. They don't really follow the Indian team. So it's a lot different to anywhere else in the world. I think in Australia, Australian teams, the main team everyone supports, and then you kind of pick your BBL team where. Everyone's loyal to their IPL team, so it's different in that way. But they love their white ball cricket, and you can definitely see that in the crowds that rock up. how much energy the crowds have got. That white ball's their game. Where the players do such a good job in India to try and keep that red ball, really healthy in India and try and put a lot of time and effort into it. But you can definitely tell that the Indians just love their white ball cricket a lot more.
I agree. That's how it seems to me as well.
Yeah.
So, like, I was going to say, what have I got here? Yeah. So, tell us about the vibe, like at Mumbai specifically. I know it keeps being called like a family club, family franchise. The Ambanis are involved, and it's skippered by the Indian national captain, Rohit. What's life like under Rohit? Like, what sort of encouragement has he given you? Yeah, he's awesome. I think for such a big status that he has, he could be arrogant if he wanted to. Like, fair enough. Like, how many Indians absolutely love him and would basically do anything for him. He could be this different person, but he's so kind, gives so much time, especially before a game's play where he thought he wanted to be around his family and maybe get away from cricket. He gives you so much time around helping you with tactics and field positions. And for a guy who's played 15 years of IPL, you would have thought he would have taken a seat back and just enjoyed the ride for a bit, but he's still so passionate. But the vibe around the team is about that. It feels like it's a family. Like, Rohit's got his family in there, like his wife and kids all the time. Same thing with a few of the older guys. They've always got their family around, and definitely feels, you just feel so welcome in there. So, I had a great experience with them. Cool. You must have watched some of Sky's innings with absolute amazement. Yeah. What's it been like playing with him? Yeah, it's ridiculous. I think, especially training with him as well. You see him train all these shots, so no wonder he plays them so well in the game, I think. But just the confidence it gives you to go out there and be so aggressive, because you know you got Sky behind you. I think that's kind of the beauty of my position. I think I had Rohit and Ishant in front of me. I had Sky batting straight after me and Tilak Verma straight after, then Tim David. It's a ridiculous batting lineup where if I got out, probably made our team better. It's funny. T20's funny like that, hey? Yeah. So I had absolutely no pressure, really, to go out there. And if I played a big shot and got out, everyone's like, no worries, mate, Sky's coming in. Well done. Thanks for getting out in a way. So, he's ridiculous to play with. It's cool. I'm going to ask a question about that in a second, but just sticking with some people around Mumbai. We know Sachin Tendulkar's a big part of Mumbai. Yep. Has he got around you in any way? Have you had a chance to chat with him, and has he given you any words of wisdom or anything like that? Definitely. He's the same. He's another guy that you just would have thought would take a seat back and just enjoy the ride of it, but he loves coming to training, comes to a lot of the game days, gives a lot more time than really he doesn't have to for how big of a status he is, I think. Had a few good chats with him. Early doors, he spoke about opening my bat face up to access the offside. Oh, yeah, I remember this, yeah. And just stuff like that. You can't believe, he's toured you. Yeah. For him to just be around, I think, it's obviously awesome for us, but also for the local Indians that are obviously so starstruck by him being around. It's pretty special. Yeah, that's awesome. Just on gods in India, MS Dhoni is about as close as you get to a god in India. Did you get a chance to meet him or I know sometimes at the end of games, whether he's won or lost, 3 or 4 people will stand around Dhoni and he will give lessons to them. Were you ever one of those guys? Did you get a chance to meet him? Or? I always felt too bad for him. I think he always had that crowd of 10 just swarming. That's right. He has to give a lecture after the game. He's probably tired. And everyone's trying to get their little piece off him. Fair play to him. I don't know how he does it. He obviously loves it, loves trying to help guys, and that's the character he is. But I think every year they think it's going to be his last year. So crowds keep coming out. They love him in Chennai. It's one of the most ridiculous things to witness in Chennai when he walks out to bat. He is a god. But he's got this really nice. I don't know how to put it. A really nice demeanour about him. He seems like a lovely guy, and
yeah, it's pretty cool that you're on the field with him.
I need him to play one more year because I need to go to Chennai to watch him. MS, if you're watching, just one more year, please, for TGC.
That probably got him over the line.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, okay. He's thinking, yeah. Okay, I could be off here, but and tell me if I am, but like when you made that unbeaten 100 off 47 balls for Mumbai, it was one of the most like blistering innings. And like when you get going in T20 cricket, like it feels violent, you know, in a great way. And I feel like when I watched that innings, I saw a bit of that sort of more aggressive body language than I've seen from you before, which I think is a lovely thing because I see you as actually quite a polite, respectful person making your way among so many giants of the game. And I watch you play that innings and I'm like, oh, he's arriving now with his own swagger, I guess. Like, are you a guy that has a bit of swagger underneath that will be coming out, do you think, as you play more innings like that?
Yeah, potentially.
I mean, I could be way off there, mate. Like, it's just one guy watching at 2 a.m.
Yeah,
you know what
I probably
mean?
don't have the natural swagger as everybody else. No, I think that just comes with confidence. I think, your chest puffs back a bit when you're playing well, just naturally because you're not really thinking so much insular. You're pretty, you're basically, you're looking out, worried about what's happening instead of what's happening inside you. So, yeah, I think it's just a natural swagger that comes with just confidence. So, yeah, when you hit the ball well in Wankhede in Mumbai, it's ridiculous. Like the wickets are just so flat.
Yeah, the wickets are awesome.
So
Yeah.
You feel awesome, but I think you got to also bring yourself back to reality, and it's not always like that. So, but yeah, you have to enjoy it when things happen like that.
Yeah. Just Ashes in England stuff. Actually, before that, am I right in saying the World Test Championship final was your first ever game of cricket in England?
Yeah, that was pretty ridiculous that you get to play a game like that for your first time in England. I think just coming from India, I felt reasonably comfortable just in that environment, kind of how the Indian crowd behave. It felt like I was pretty used to it at that point. It's just
pretty used to it in a World Test Championship final, first game in England. That's good. You must adapt quickly, man.
I think, just the natural confidence you probably got after the IPL and
probably didn't read much social media after you took that great catch to dismiss Shubman.
Yeah, I didn't really have to try. It was just tweet to my face, basically. So, that was a crazy moment in itself.
That was a good catch. That was a catch. What was it like playing against Bazball? Like I was at Edgbaston, and my first impression watching it on day one was how exhausting it must be being in the field, moving around all the time. I mean, I imagine in Test cricket, like there's some opportunities to switch off if you're spending, a good period of time at gully, for example, or whatever. But with the way those guys were playing, it would be exhausting just having to react all the time, right?
Yeah, I think it was just mentally exhausting in a way. Just so much was happening so quick. So like you always like cast your mind forward like an hour's time, like what their score could be. So I think if you slowed everything down, like they gave us a lot of chances for how many runs they were getting, but you just saw the score ticking over. You just thought they were like so far ahead of the game.
Crazy.
On such a flat wicket that we played most of the time on, you'd actually be very happy to get them out for 350. Where at times, like you just saw the scoreboard was getting away from you so quick that you felt you're so far behind the game. Where if you actually took a step back, you're like, actually no, we're quite happy with them getting 350.
Yeah.
So. I think that was what probably was mentally exhausting is, the game was moving so quick, you didn't have time to think. So that was just mentally, that's not even running around.
Actually doing it. So you played in the infamous Lord's Test. Yep. I'm telling you things you already know. And you were part of history with the Bairstow Dismissal. I'm really keen to understand how you feel about it. I'm not talking about the spirit of cricket. I want to know how it feels to have someone stumped from a 140k bumper.
I couldn't
People have forgotten this. You can tell your grandkids this. Hey, I got guys stumped off a 140k bumper.
I got plenty of guys in the Dugway squad saying they can't believe I got a Test stumping before they have. I was ridiculous. Like, everyone kind of forgets about that you got little one next to your name. hopefully in a few years' time, everyone kind of forgets that was you and just take the one wicket and run. So, that was a nice feeling.
We all saw what happened when you walked through the long room. So, like, how did that feel? And what I want to know is, like, once the doors were shut in the sheds, like, what were the boys saying about it all? Like, was it funny? Was it like, what the hell is this? And then obviously there's, some you shared lunch with the England guys after that as well. But like, what was it like when the doors closed in the sheds? What were the reflections?
I think most of it, like, we were a bit in shock, but I think the shock resulted in laughter. I think we were like, what has just happened?
Yeah.
Like, obviously caught off guard. Just walking through it, like, really hostile. I think most of us reaction was probably laughter. I think we were like disbelief what's just happened, which quickly turned to like, no, like, we don't accept that. So a few of us then got a bit like angry, but I think initially it was laughter, and then I think walking back out there to claps and cheers, we were like, that was again like disbelief. I think we were just laughing again on field. So
that's funny.
I think how we took it was pretty good.
Yeah, you guys did well, I thought. Like, while we're on the topic, like, is the spirit of cricket something you think about? Like, do you have a view on what that means, or the spirit you want to play the game in? And you don't have to say anything, particularly like profound, but is it something you think about, or do you have a code that you play by?
Yeah, I think there's definitely a few examples. Like if something unnatural happens, like the bowler runs into a guy trying to run a single and then you run him out. I think they're probably more spirited cricket. I don't think like a legitimate way of getting out is spirited cricket. So that's the really grey area where, like, if you're on either side of it, you think it's spirited cricket. It's a really weird one. I think we made the right call leaving it up to the umpire because it wasn't as grave, because it was a legitimate way to get out. It is still a bit touchy.
Were you part of the nightclub crew that, quote, met up later with the England guys who definitely didn't deliberately avoid opposition drinks after a tough series?
I was there. I think the whole team was there. I think we all kind of forgot about it by the time we got there. They were in good spirits, and it was good to chat to them, obviously, after a pretty special Ashes series.
I don't believe you. No, it's cool.
That's my
line. Just want to ask about all-rounders. Your numbers are really strong when compared to other like greats of the game at similar age. But in Australia, we tend to have this really unfair expectation on all-rounders where we forget that they do both skills, that they've got to prepare for both things, that when they've got a bat in their hands, they've got to average 45 and hit match-winning hundreds, and when they bowl, it's fifers at the same average as the specialist bowlers, right? Have you had much support from guys who've done the same job as you in the past? So specifically, have you ever spoken to Shane Watson, for example, about that experience for him, and have they offered you any advice about how you navigate attitudes to all-rounders in Australia? Yeah.
No, Shane Watson reached out probably about a year ago, just saying, like, mate, I'm always here, like, I'm really keen to help. He was also releasing a book at the time, and which I've read, and we basically spoke about that, like the pressures that he was under. He wasn't sure if he coped the way that he wished he would or could have done. He's been awesome that he's at least someone there that I can talk to about pressures of that.
Come through, Moises Henriques.
Hey, mate, how are you? Good, how are you? Good to see you. How you doing?
What are you doing here?
Just doing some Redbull promotional
you
stuff.
Yeah, good.
How was US?
So good.
So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that?
You taking up golf yet?
I'm getting fitting as soon as I get back home, so I'm pretty excited about that.
So you duck out.
I need to.
There's another all-rounder.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, what has helped, hey? Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's awesome that you got a great like him to reach out, just as someone to support that is there if you need it. And then obviously I got Mitch Marsh, who's just recently come back to the side, but he's obviously gone through those pressures as well. So and we're super tight. So if there's any help that I need, it's awesome that I got someone so close to help.
That's cool. We talked to Kyle Jamieson from New Zealand a few years ago, and he's something like 6'8" or something like that. Super successful cricketer, burst onto the scene, great bowler, got Kohli twice, first World Test Championship, bunch of other stuff. And we asked him what it was like to receive so much focus on his height. And I actually got the impression that he would have preferred people focus on his cricket, genuinely, which is completely understandable. And I note how many people, TGC included, to my shame, and especially commentators, like struggle to talk about your cricket without mentioning your physical size.
Yeah.
So it seems to me like it's always, he's a big boy, or he's got a big stride, or how about the buckets on him, you know? Like I've got no rig to speak of, so I'd probably fall into the trap of thinking it must be amazing to have such physical presence. But I'm actually asking seriously, like, how do you deal with all the talk about your physicality? Is it something that it irritates you because it might distract from your actual cricketing skill?
No, it doesn't irritate me at all. I think obviously I'm quite lucky to have the big buckets at the health and gully. No, I'm not too worried about it. I think it's obviously a part of me, and I think I'd be talking about it as well. I talk about Jamison's height all the time.
Okay.
I wish I got that eight extra centimetres. But also it's a great excuse as well. I'm like, I'm not small like a little batter. I can't bat like they do.
Yeah.
So it's also a great excuse as well. So
I never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
I wish I was shorter.
ways.
I've never thought I wish I was shorter.
Yeah.
Well, you just mentioned centimetres there before. Like, I mean, would you confirm for the audience your actual height?
199 and a half. Not quite 200.
So you can't actually say Cam Green's 2 metres. You can't do that.
No, you're not allowed to.
Not allowed to.
Everyone rounds up, don't they?
Yeah. Interesting. I like it. All right, mate. I've gone way over with you. Just a final one. A lot of people don't want to talk about their ambitions in cricket because cricket can punish you for being open and honest about what you want to do. But are there any things you're particularly looking forward to achieving in the next year or 2 years, whether individually or as a team?
Yeah, no, not really. I think it comes quite natural when you're first starting out in your career, and I think I'm trying to work out new ones at the moment. I think, at the start of your career, you just want your first wicket, your first catch and your first run, and you'd be really proud of what you achieved, and then you achieve that, and then you look forward, you're like, I like my first 50, like my first 100. So, at the moment, I think I'm just trying to work towards what it looks like in the next 12 months and what I want to be really proud of. Because, if you're not really actively thinking about it, I feel like it gets away from you and you strive for too much. You want to, average 45 with the bat and average 21 with the ball. But there's processes to that. So, trying to work that out at the moment.
Thanks so much for the chat, brother. Really appreciate it.
Thanks,
Cam.
Cheers.